Hell yeah, alright.
Video, 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 video space. Video talk, talking video talk. We're 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 talking video talk. Talking video talk. We're talking video talk.
Yeah.
We're talking video talk.
Bitch, we're talking with our boy Willie. You know he's got the shit. He's dancing real hard. I know you'll never get sick of it. He's got that tee on, got that long sexy hair. You know he's about to take his shirt off, his abs so bare. He's got a six-pack. They call him Suburban Commando. He's a big motherfucker and he's dropping it low. He's about to slap that ass, baby, about to slap it so hard. You ever seen this motherfucker running naked through your backyard?
We're talking video talk. We're talking
Video talk, bitch, we're talking video talk. Get your video talk. You best subscribe. You best subscribe or die. You best subscribe or dive to video talk.
Again, yeah, you best subscribe or die to the video talk. Hey, it's Jimmy Caan in Memoriam and also David Hasselhoff. These are the topics for tonight, so welcome to the show. And my name is Wilho and you are watching Video Talk. Hello, hello, hello. Hebbo is in the house and JAA says good evening and Aku Perällä also says good evening everybody, so I can say that too. Hey, how the hell are you tonight? Hey, guess what? I wasn't partying last night. Yeah, I was gonna, but then my appointment got cancelled, so I just relaxed and went to the gym and watched some good films. And actually, I saw The Devil last night, which is a Korean horror action, creepy, weirdo serial killer film. Of course, I have seen that, but now I watched the uncut version, the international version. Oh, I mean, different cut of it. It's an international version, better version, more violence. But enough with that, man. Dusty G is in the house. How you doing, Dusty G? Where are you from, might I ask? And also Jay the Cinemaniac, always around. And Santeri Paju, also from Helsinki, joins to the chat. Good evening to Helsinki as well. And yeah, it is like 7 p.m. in Finland now, so maybe if you're watching from States, your Sunday has just only started, but ours is starting to be in its end, but it's a good end. And also Videomannen, Gizmo, hey my man, you're Norwegian. Norway is in the house also as well. Winnipeg, Canada. Now that's a long way ago, long way back in the other side of the world, man. Yeah. All right. So we're getting the house packed, and let me take one high hop mild IPA beer because I think I've earned it. Oh yeah, very tasty. But yeah. Like the description says, tonight we're gonna be talking about this guy here. This guy over here. this dude here, right here. And also we're gonna be talking about this guy right fucking here. And we probably gonna start with David Hasselhoff, because I have few things to say about him, especially happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday David Hasselhoff, 70 years old today to be exact. Videoman and Gizmo says, I will watch the video later. I'm working, just dropping by. Have a cool news. I have cool news. What is your cool news? Hope everything is going fine. Right. All right. So probably we are getting to the house is getting to be crowded. Almost 40 people watching. So why don't we start with the show? Unless there's something to comment or some other currents that you want to discuss. Yeah. Videoman and Gizmo says, a label in the States we all know have bought the rights to my first features, so it will probably be dropping in beginning of the next year in USA. Hey, that's great news, man. A label in the States we all know. So can you name the films they are gonna be distributing? You probably can't at this point, but if you can, please name them. But congrats anyways. Very exciting news. And Janne S comes to the house and says, hello. By the way, Janne S, I have your EP Man package here. It's brilliant. Not waiting to be sent, but it is on my desk as we speak, man. The IP Man. Exactly right, Lino Marchetti. Like you said, that's dang impressive, Gizmo. Very damn impressive. And I hope everything goes well and the deal is gonna be watertight and you will get your films released and you will also get paid. And nothing bad in the middle is gonna happen. Alright, hey, now it's time to talk about a little bit this birthday boy here, David Hasselhoff. Now today, 17 years old, and yeah, David Hasselhoff has been mostly in television, also in low budget films, and probably if you would ask somebody on the street, hey, do you know David Hasselhoff? Probably he would tell you, or she would tell you, yeah, I know him from Baywatch or American Idols. Was he in the American Idols? I remember he was a judge in some sort of this kind of talent show or anything. But maybe most of the people will say you this. But for me, David Hasselhoff has always been the Knight Rider. The Knight Rider, the lonely crusader in a dangerous world, in a world of Knight Rider. The Knight Rider. Yeah, when I was a kid, I think that Knight Rider was the best thing ever. Best thing since the fucking sliced bread. This aired in, was it 83 to 86 or 82 to 86? 82 to 86. There were 4 seasons and 19 episodes of this series. And yeah, man, it was amazing to see this guy with the curly hair go around and to hunt bad guys and also to ride in the kit. The miracle car that speaks. Now that was amazing, and this show was produced by Glenn A. Larson, the same guy who produced Battlestar Galactica, and he instructed the prop guy who made the kit car, instructed him that, hey, it should have like a Cylon, this kind of a visor in the front. So he made. And that is kind of iconic, this visor. And I don't know how many times in the play yard we have been going around like driving cars and making this noise. Now it's talking now. And then, of course, this car also jumps. But yeah, since the 80s, I have not watched one episode again from the Knight Rider, because I do believe that some memories are best kept in its golden state. So I don't want to be watching it again just to find out that, yeah, this is not that special. I rather think that this was a very special series. Won't be watching again, and yeah, rather have a nostalgic memory about this. Knight Rider theme song immediately started banging in my head. In Finland we had this children's, like a joke song from this Knight Rider team. It went like this: kikkarapää, kikkarapää, naisia metsästä, which means like a curly head, hunts down women and gives head. No, the last sentence was my invention. No, children didn't say that in the 80s, that somebody's giving head to anybody, but it kind of suits it. That curly head, hunts down women and gives them head. So, if you want to quote on that, you feel free to do that. I remember Kit had an evil twin named Car. Yes, that is gotta be the most memorable, one of the most memorable episodes of Knight Rider. Also, I remember, was it white? Was it a white car? Or did they try to steal Kit and then they painted it white? And Videoman and Gizmo, Horror 1 and Horror 2 are gonna be released, but not. I think I got an idea who would be interested that in horror. And let me go get the horror. Horror, 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 horror. Yeah, I have a horror right here. So it was released even in Finland by Another World, or should I say Supersound Films. This is a Finnish DVD release, so I have seen your film. It doesn't say Videoman and Gizmo anywhere here. But here, haven't seen the sequel. I don't know, was that released through Another World Video, but maybe Videoman and Gizmo can tell you about that. Okay, but Knight Rider wasn't, no, not at all, wasn't it David Hasselhoff's first work, no. He did other TV shows, but none of them are as iconic before Knight Rider. Of course, Baywatch then came like in the late 80s, but before that he made also this film. Oh no, not this one. I'm talking about this film. David Hasselhoff starred in the Luigi Cozzi's film, which was released in United States through Roger Corman's Pictures, and this is kind of funny and very campy space adventure. Clearly tries to copy the success of Star Wars, and yeah, I think it does a decent job, like with a very, very, very minuscule budget. Star Crash is awesome fun, but I wouldn't be calling this necessarily a David Hasselhoff movie because David Hasselhoff is not starring in this film. I mean, he is starring, but he is not the first billed actor in his. If I remember correctly, he was some sort of Prince of the Galaxy or some shit like that, but not very huge role. But nevertheless, he went to Italy and made this kind of great picture with Caroline Munro. And who is this guy? This of course, Joe Spinelli is on this. Marjorie Gardner, I don't know. But anyway, if you have not seen Star Crash, I recommend it. I don't remember, was this even released in Europe at all? Because I have here Region A locked Blu-ray. I don't know. Videoman Gizmo says, cool to see, man, ha ha ha. It's released through Another World and Nuta Films in Scandinavia, shot for $0 in 7 days in 2007. I'm sure you at least some gas paid some money, like you had to, you know, go to with a car to some place, so at least that cost you some dollars at least. As Anteri Paju says, Star Crash is an awesome picture, and you are quite right, sir. Quite right. And then we have from James, from David Hasselhoff, we also have something called WB, Blue and the Beaner. Now, this is called Bounty Hunters, and maybe the cover tells you pretty much about this film, because this is about the only thing that I can tell you about this, because I have never seen this film. This has been like 10 years, I mean, at least 15 years in my shelf, but I haven't seen it. This even has Linda freaking Blair in it, so now, man, I need to see this. I need to see this. Not necessarily right now, but very soon, very soon. And also another David Hasselhoff film, which I have not seen it, but this has not been in my shelf like 10 years. This has only been like 2 years or something, but it's called Avalanche. David Hasselhoff plays a bad guy in this. It's something to do with the family that is left under the snow avalanche, and David Hasselhoff pretends to be like a injured guy with a good cause, but no, he is the bad guy with some heist money, after some heist money and stuff like that. Never seen it, but I gotta see this one too, Avalanche. And also, probably most of you guys also know about the Baywatch. So this was series that, wait a second, I forgot to check this out. Baywatch. Now, I'm sure that most of you have watched this. At least one episode. At least one episode in their lives. Because it's gotta be like the most well-known series all around. It was made from year 1989 to 1999. 10 years and 242 episodes aired, and it even got its own spin-off called Baywatch Hawaii. Was there also some Baywatch late nights where David Hasselhoff hunts down vampires at night? I remember watching this in like, what is this? Some serial killers and Baywatch After Hours or something crazy like that. But yeah, Baywatch is definitely iconic film. Series, and no, I don't own any episodes of Baywatch, and this in one time in history this was always on, at least in Finnish TV, and sure enough it's got Pamela Anderson in it and lots of other hot girls. Was there some Baywatch late night, or that kind of left bothering me? Yeah, but moving on. And from the was there any else? I don't know. No. And to finish David off, let's talk about Kung Fury. And David Hasselhoff does not have a part in this movie. A Swedish film which was made by this guy whose name I forget, but it was like an internet hit. Was it like a year 2015 when it was very widely advertised and very widely teased, and then it came out, and at least I was a little bit disappointed. It was like a too much of an homage to everything. But what makes it really outstanding, this Kung Fury, is the song by David Hasselhoff, the action True Survivor, yeah. True Survivor is an amazing synthwave song, and I occasionally listen to that even to this date over and over again. And that music video, it kicks freaking ass. And yeah, if you have never seen True Survivor music video, you need to see that on YouTube. Let me tell you. Hasselhoff is kind of a rare actor, as he has two iconic TV characters, Michael Knight and Mitch Buchanan. Yeah, not many TV actors can say that. My understanding is that Hasselhoff signed on to Baywatch for a very small salary, but unusually high percent of the profits made him a mega rich. Yeah, I bet David Hasselhoff doesn't have to go out there to, beg for handouts, because I think he's loaded, and hopefully he's having a very fine birthday today. Yeah. That's all for what I have for David Hasselhoff. Happy birthday to David, and let's move on to the other territories in this show. And that is Jimmy Caan, James Caan. And this guy, James Edmund Caan, was born in March 26 in 1940 in New York City, and unfortunately he passed on in July 6th in 2022, and he was 82 years old when he passed on. Man, that's not a bad age for a man to pass on, man. I mean, people die in a younger age too, and considering that, yeah, he kind of had rough time in the 80s, so it's a very good thing that he left to be even that old. Yeah, he was married 4 times and has 5 children, including Scott Caan, who is also an actor and also a movie director. I really can name. I cannot name a single Scott Caan film, but maybe somebody in the audience can name a few Scott Caan's films. And Janne says, I must check the Anaconda movie. He was also in Piranha 3DD with fun cameo on Baywatch. Yes. Hey, I forgot to mention the Anaconda 3 movie. He is in Anaconda 3, and that was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. And of course, Piranha 3DD 2. But I have never seen Piranha 3DD. But yeah, maybe I need to watch it. I hear that it's not as good as the first Piranha 3D, but maybe someday I will give it a watch. But let's get back to the James Caan. And Uh, First, he started his career in the 1960s on off-Broadway plays, and then, like many of his comrades and colleagues, moved to the television and to build his career. And in year 1965, he got hired in this movie called El Dorado, was it, with John Wayne and Robert Mitchum. And that kind of not necessarily a breakthrough film, but at least he got his leg between the door, so to speak. So made some name when starring with these screen legends. And then he also did a film with Sidney Lumet, which I would kind of like to see. It's called Countdown, where he also there was the wait a minute, Robert Duvall from Godfather. It's kind of it's like this is what I learned when I was studying him. Kind of like this space movie when James Caan is an astronaut who goes to the moon and gets stranded in the moon, and Robert Duvall is this kind of NASA guy who tries to help him. Sort of like I get the impression it's sort of like this Martian film of Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott's Martian film, but I've never seen it. I never even heard about this before I studied on James Caan. And yeah, to live is to learn, and hopefully you find this also, interesting. Lina Machetti says, I have watched movies for sole reason that James Caan is in them. He is fascinating to watch. Yes, I was gonna say that I think James Caan was one of those guys who's he has to be on screen. His screen presence is so has so much gravity to it. So you kind of like. He gets all the attention when he's on the screen. I don't know how he does it, but some people just have it, and James Caan definitely had this kind of talent. Very enigmatic, tough guy. Very. And in the year 1982 to 1987, James Caan suffered from depression when his sister died of leukemia, and that kind of got him involved with cocaine and something that he called in the interview something called Hollywood burnout. And during that time he didn't act in any films. But in the year 1987 he made a comeback in a Francis Ford Coppola films Gardens of Stone, which I have never even heard about, never seen it, never heard about it before to this day. And of course The Alien Nation, which I'm gonna be discussing you soon. But now there's a little bit background, and during the 1990s, of course, he did The Misery, which maybe most of the people remember him best by. And also in the 2000s, he did television and some serious cameo roles, but some interesting stuff. But I think my top 5 list, which I'm gonna be telling you, it's focused on 70s and the 80s. Gotta be right. So remember, and this is also, remember, it's a video talk, so give me your list, or it's not necessarily have to be top 5 list, but name drop here, name drop in the chat some good James Caan titles, and also if you're watching this on playback, you can name drop James Caan titles to the comment section. So it's a video talk. This is how it works, man. But here, let's go to my top 5 James Caan list. And I also have a bunch of honorable mentions and not so honorable mentions, but I will go these before the number 1. So you're ready. So you're probably ready. My number 5. My number 5 is something called The Gambler. And this was also a film that I have never even heard about, but somebody in the Facebook, my friend in the Facebook said that, yeah, James Caan has passed on, but I will remember him always in this tragic scene in The Gambler. And yeah, The Gambler, first time I watched it, and yeah, it was I really liked it. I really liked The Gambler. In this film, James Caan, The Gambler from year 1974, James Caan plays this guy, Axel Fried, a college professor or university professor that teaches young people English literature and language, and then during the nights he goes on and gambles. He gambles his money. And then the film opens when he's having a bad night at the gambling cave, so to speak. And these things were owned by mafia in the 70s. And he plays with high stakes, and he's left with $40,000 that he owes to the mafia crime organization. And the wait a second, who was the guy? Paul Sorvino plays the mafia guy who he's owning the money, but he's also Axel's friend. So Paul Sorvino advises him that, yeah, you should really pay up, and you should really come up with this money, during the few days, or come up with a plan how you gonna be repaying this, because I'm worried about you. I cannot guarantee what happens. So Jimmy Caan just goes on and tries to find money, and he gets that money from his mother, because he's from a rich family with some enterprise behind it. But what he does, it's amazing. He doesn't pay to the mafia. He runs away to Las Vegas and loses everything. So right now, and then he's really fucked. So it's a drama film, and pretty gripping drama film, and I think I watched 5 James Caan's film, and this was the first time I watched this film. I think this is the more versatile role that he has been in, at least from the movies that I watched during to this broadcast. So I mean that he has probably the most emotional range in this film. He's kind of witty and smart, and also very likable character, but also a degenerate gambler and raging, not an alcoholic, but a raging gambler, so to speak. The film doesn't offer any kind of a reason why should he do that, because he has a great job, beautiful girlfriend. I don't think was that girl also a university? Was she like a student? I don't know, but that's never explained. But and he's from a rich family, and yeah, he has everything under control except for this gambling problem. And in this one scene, he explains that he loves the idea that he can lose or he can win. So basically, he's not there for the money or to get money, but he's there to, all or nothing. He's there, he lives for that adrenaline, perhaps. But it never is clearly explained, nor should it have to. It's kind of like a very, very ambiguous film, if you will. And the ending is, I will not go to the details. Maybe you want to check it out. I strongly recommend it. You check it out if you have not seen it. The ending is kind of very gripping. And yeah, I really liked it. I really did like it. Has anybody seen Gambler? I would give this film 4 stars. 4 out of 5. Easily. Great stuff. And Santeri Paju says, I love Honeymoon in Vegas with Cage and Caan. I think it's an underrated comedy. Actually, that would be something that I would want to watch for this broadcast, but I didn't get it from anywhere. I don't have it, and it was not on Google Rentals. And then again, I wouldn't probably have time to watch it, so I kind of passed on. But I have seen it. I have seen it, and I remember it was very good. It was good. So, in that film, if I remember correctly, it's kind of like comedy version from that. What was that film with Robert Redford and some other, that one, Demi Moore, Robert Redford, and they're kind of same plot, that this millionaire wants to pay $1 million if he can fuck this guy's wife, and then he agrees, and then he kind of like gets second thoughts about on that, but then the deal is already done, and yeah. But that is kind of like similar plot, but only with more comedic elements. But never mind. Let's go to my James Caan number 4, which I watched this week, and that is, of course, it's gotta be there. Yes, it's gotta be there. Yeah. Oi, 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 oi. The Killer Elite. The Killer Elite with James Caan and Robert Duvall. A Sam freaking Peckinpah film. Bloody Sam directed film. Yeah. And this was like a post-Watergate film. This was from year 1975, a year after Gambler. And by post-Watergate, I mean that when there was this scandal, Watergate scandal in the United States, after that there was a lot of films where this, like they films that ooze like prejudice against their own government, prejudice against the United States government. So Killer Elite is one of these films, and in this film James Caan and Robert Duvall play kind of this like a Secret Service guy who are working for this unnamed corporation, which clearly is working for the CIA. And then Robert Duvall betrays James Caan and shoots him in the hand and in the leg and says, yeah, consider that a retirement. But no, James Caan won't have it. He trains himself again and gets an iron hand and iron knee, and then learns martial arts. And then he goes back in the spy game, and he has to protect this Asian diplomat and his family who come to America. And on the bonus side, also Robert Duvall as this betraying partner, he has returned to the spy game as well and tries to kill this Asian family. So basically here is the plot for this action vehicle from 1975, and this was, yes, like I said, directed by Wild Bunch famed Sam Peckinpah. And yeah, while not, yeah, well, you could say that I'm a big Sam Peckinpah fan, but I don't think Killer Elite is one of his better films. But it's okay. It's okay. It's fine, and it's a good 70s action film. There's no doubt about it. And kind of bummer is that this is PG film, you know, and you know, bloody squibs. There are bloody squibs, but you can tell that this has been toned down. But when I was watching it again, I was thinking that, yeah, this wouldn't pass PG-13 nowadays. It would be rated R. It's so much blood in this film. You know, like when Robert Duvall shoots this one guy in the head, and like there's like huge squib exploding behind his back, like a very very huge squib. But it's cut, so it is only like a glimpse. But you can tell that, yeah, there's lots of high explosive, high blood, very much blood content used in these quips. James Caan and Robert Duvall, excellent excellent rivals in this film. This was the third film they did together. The first one was this Countdown that I have never seen. I was talking about that to you earlier. And of course, the second one was The Godfather. And this was the third one. And I remember they did a fourth one, but the name escaped me as of now. And hey, I didn't even tell you, but this film has ninjas in it. Can you believe it? A Sam Peckinpah film with ninjas. So what's going on with that? But yeah, I think maybe Killer Elite could be a better film. Maybe. But as of this, it's okay. And yeah, hey, did I mention it also is starring Burt Young from Rocky. He is playing one of these sidekicks that James Caan hires to help him. And also Bo Svensson was the other sidekick. Or was it Bo Svensson? No, I mean Bo Hopkins, sorry. Bo Hopkins is also in that film. Yeah. Anybody seen Killer Elite? Hey, by the way, I have the Finnish VHF, of course, which is pretty rare, and I think this is cut version. Didn't check it out. But also I have the French Blu-ray. But I understand that this has also been released in UK Blu-ray format. But I have bought this like 6 years ago. And this is on my shelf. And it's got a slip cover, obviously, here. Lossikuski says the Killer Elite is much better film as than Sam Peckinpah's Osterman Weekend. Yes, it is. And much better film than... what was the film with truckers? Convoy. Much better film than Convoy. But not as good film as something like... Wild Bunch or Getaway or Major Dundee. Well, I think it's better than Major Dundee. I don't know. Maybe I have to rank Sam Peckinpah films. But yeah. Yeah, okay. That was Killer Elite. And then now moving to the next one, unless you have any comments about Killer Elite. Alright. My list number 2 is Misery, Piina. And it's Piina means in English, it means like Piina, it means misery, or maybe it could mean more like tension. Okay, never mind that. I have here Finnish VHS and Blu-ray and Piina. After Shining, I think this has got to be the best Stephen King film ever made. Because in this film, James Caan plays Paul Sheldon, a highly successful writer that goes to his mountain cabin to write one of his books, and then he finishes the book and goes back to the city, and unfortunately there's a snowstorm, so he gets into a car crash, and just to wake up and find out that this weird lady, Kathy Bates, has abducted him from when he was unconscious, abducted him from his car and bring it to her house. And now she's the biggest fan of Paul Sheldon's books, and now she has taken care of him, and now she's starting to act pretty weirdly. He lets her read his latest book, and she doesn't like it, and makes him to write it again. And she kind of keeps him as a hostage, as a prisoner, drugs him and makes him write the book, and it's kind of like a very piinaava, very tense thriller. And mostly this film includes one house and two actors, and what a pair they are. Kathy Bates and James Caan, they really put up a very good show in this. And if I remember correctly, this was one of the first, if not the first films that I registered that there is some actor called James Caan, and he's pretty awesome. Yeah. And the leg breaking scene, ooh-wee, that is some brutal shit. It always gives me creeps when I see that scene, man. Woo. If you have not seen this film, I will not spoil it for you. But yeah, hey, Pina on Blu-ray. I believe this came out on 4K Ultra HD through Kinolorber, but I don't have that. Or did it come out already, or is it only coming soon? But anyways, it's coming on 4K. Maybe I need to check it out. But it was directed by Rob Reiner, and he's made a bunch of films, but I think this is easily his best film. And Santeri Paju says the part where Kathy Bates gets pissed off about the stuff Caan has writing on the book she told him to write gives me the chills. Yeah, she's very psychotic, very lunatic, and yeah, and also she's very fucking annoying. Like it's very satisfying in this film when he finally gets, upper hand. It's very satisfying to see him fight back this Kathy Bates because she has been so fucking annoying. Kind of religious views and very hard critic on what is supposed to be in the book and what not, and what kind of a plot this should there be and what not. So very satisfying. Yeah. How many people watching? 38 people watching. Kinda silent tonight. Don't you people have seen James Caan's films? Because the number 2 on my list, hell yeah. Okay, number 2. This is a film that I have seen many times. I'm talking about, of course, The Rollerball. 70s dystopian science fiction film from the year 1975. So 1974 and 75 were very big years for James Caan. This was a high-budget science fiction film, and also The Gambler was a big hit, and also Killer Hit was a hit, but even though James Caan didn't like it, but this one he did like it, and this still is a very iconic dystopian science fiction film. Yeah, here I have Arrow Videos Blu-ray, and this I watched, was it for Wednesday or something? And of course I do have the Finnish VHS with the Molo covers and all. And I do believe that this too from Warner Home Video was cut, but I haven't checked it. I have not checked that out personally. But yeah, let's talk about Rollerball, because yeah, Rollerball. In the future, the film doesn't say when, but the marketing material for this film, it said that the year is 2028 or 2018, so right about now. But in the future, corporations are ruling the entire world. There is no governments anymore. No countries, no governments, no nothing. Only corporations. And Rollerball is the game that they control the whole world with. Everybody's watching Rollerball. It's like this oval arena where the guys are roller skating back and forth. And the aim is to get the metal ball which shoots from this cannon, and get the metal ball and throw it in the goal. So sort of like basketball or only with rollerblades and with a rollerblade ring. And the caveat here is that it is allowed to hit your opponent. It's allowed to burn your opponent. It's allowed to make them die. At least later in the game, because the plot starts to thicken in this film, because this Jonathan E, who is played by James Caan, the corporate machine wants him to quit. They want him to go on Multivision, which is a television, and to say that, yeah, I'm quitting now. But Jonathan E, he just wants to continue playing, and as a response, the corporate guys, they just change the rules to make the game even more brutal and brutal and brutal. And in the end, there are no rules anymore. You can just go around and, whacking your opponents down. No rules anymore. Everything goes. So, Deadskin says, reminds me of Amiga Speedball. I'm definitely sure that the makers of Speedball, they took notes on this movie. It is so similar. The glove, which is in the booklet, the glove and the ball, it is so similar. It cannot be coincidence. But you might get an impression that this is an action film, but no, in the real essence of this film, it's not an action film. It's a science fiction film. It's a dystopian science fiction film, and the desire for Jonathan E to figure out who is ruling the world and why do they want to, why they want to change his life. And also in this world, the corporate world goes like the John Houseman, who plays the very creepy guy, this corporate CEO. If you have seen the film, you will remember the scene where it's a party scene and John Houseman looks to Jonathan E like this. When I was watching this again, like the millionth of time, I was kind of wondering, because there's one sentence that this one partygoer says that, yeah, tomorrow they will play rollerblade with robots, and you cannot tell if it's a robot or is it a human being. They bleed and all. So is that like a clue that this guy, CEO guy, would be a robot? I don't know. Maybe the world, all the CEOs in this world are robots, and they are just keeping the mankind as their slaves. Because everything goes what the corporation said. Do not question the corporation. But they are giving everything. They are giving you a house, they are giving you food, they are giving you entertainment, luxuries, anything. Everybody's got everything, but only thing you must not do is to question the authority, which is the corporations. And this is very atmospheric, very chilling, and well shot, and the music is weird, and the sound design is weird, and also it uses only classical music. And the director said that he took clues from Stanley Kubrick's 2001, which came out 7 years before that. And you can clearly tell that this is more inspired by Stanley Kubrick's or European cinema, more inspired from those things than, let's say, a traditional American science fiction adventure film, which this could have easily been. I mean, it could have been great like that as well. I mean, why not make an action film with starring James Caan and this like a hotshot rollerball player? Why not? It can work. And but do not make a remake, which was made by John McTiernan, which basically that remake ruined his whole career. as a filmmaker. I have never seen it, but I hear it is awful remake. This 2002 Rollerblade. Do not watch that. Watch this. This is pure science fiction classic. But if you're expecting like hard-boiled action adventure, you will be disappointed. But if you're expecting atmospheric dystopian 70s future nightmare, then I think you are gonna be, if that's your alley, then I think you will be enjoying this. But if somebody says that, yeah, I didn't like that much, I can understand that, because it's not necessarily for anybody, especially if you're used more action-oriented films, then it's probably not your alley. But if that what I said to you made you want to see it, so you won't be disappointed. 4 stars, easily 4 stars, maybe even more in some other day, but I will give now it a 4 star. And this is one of these films that I really would want to know what happens after the end. I really would. But I guess it's better left to the imagination that what happens next in the after the events of Rollerblade. Okay, classical music is a great choice if you wanna make your movie seem timeless. But yeah, otherwise it's very 70s dystopia, but I love it. Santeri Paju at least has seen Rollerblade. Anybody else seen Rollerblades? And I don't mean the rollerblade skates, but I do mean this film. Come on, let's hear it. Hit me with stars, if you don't have anything to say about it. Come on, come on. Alright, maybe it's time. I only have one film. Lossikuski says 4.5 from 5. Santeri Paju 4 out of 5. Okay, not a bad rating. But I only have one movie on my list. Can you guess what it is? But before I reveal what is that number 1 on the list, I will give you my honorable mentions. Hello Becky, welcome to the show. You are right in the time for the last reveal. I didn't mean relief. Lossikuski guesses that it's Thief. It is indeed a good guess. But hey, I have a finished DVD of Rollerball, says Ville Korpela. Great 4 stars. Not a bad. So there you go, not bad reviews. Okay, earlier we talked about this El Dorado with John Wayne and Robert Mitchum. I have never seen it, so I cannot comment on that. Also, Countdown with Robert Duvall, directed by Sidney Lumet. I have not seen it. And then also James Caan played small roles in TV series Get Smart. You know, Maxwell Smart. That is something that I watched when I was a kid, as a kilo. I watched that. And also, there was a remake or filmatization in 2008. Was it Steve Carell played the Maxwell Smart character, but James Caan in that filmatization film. I have never seen it. I don't care. So I have not seen it, but to tell you that, yeah, James Caan is on that too. 10. Let's start with the films mentions. Okay, Eraser from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Eraser, the Protector. Here I have the finished DVD on this film, and in this exciting action adventure, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays the government guy. they call Eraser, the guy who makes people disappear, and he goes on and takes the important people and puts them on witness protection and also protects them from hitmen. And then there's some lady, Vanessa Williams plays some lady who has learned that this company that James Caan rules, they are selling these new cool guns, which we can see on this cover. They are selling them to terrorists because this gun can do absolutely anything. It can drop planes out of the freaking sky and shoot through the walls and whatnot, transform into a robot. I don't know, no. But yeah, I have seen this in cinema. I really don't like it. I think it sucks. It's not very good. It's not very good James Caan film, not a very good Arnold Schwarzenegger film, not a very good Chuck Russell film. It is directed same guy who directed Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 and also Blob, the remake. But this is not the best moments in either of these men's career. It's full with this bad CGI effects from 1996. You know, the airplay sequence and the laughable sequence where Arnold Schwarzenegger shoots crocodiles in a zoo, and they are clearly made with CGI effects. And he even shoots one CGI crocodile and says, "Your luggage." even the one-liners suck in this film. I don't know. I guess if you're in hangover or drinking beer and you're wasted, then you might get some enjoyment out of it. But I really can't. I really can't get anything out of it. It's bad. I always thought about this movie when I was kid that it was related to pencils. Eraser. Yeah. I think it would be even more. I think that would be more interesting film if this would actually be about Arnold Schwarzenegger, trying to figure out how to make a best eraser, pencil, type eraser in the world. I don't know. 2 stars in a good day. Still haven't seen Thief. Have the Arrow Blu-ray in the shelf. Tupes, you have the same thing that I have. Eraser was one of the worst Arnold movies in the 90s. Yeah, I really hate to say that. But I think if I had to choose between watching End of Days and Eraser, I really now had to do it. Somebody would put a knife to my throat and say, "You gotta watch either of these before I fucking cut your fucking head off." Then I would probably watch Eraser. I think End of Days is even worse. Or Kindergarten Cop and Jingle All the Way. They are kids movies. They are in their own genre. But if you're just talking about action films, so these are not very good. Correction, I have a Criterion Blu-ray, not Arrow Video Blu-ray. Tupe says, and he's right, Eraser is quite violent film too. Got problems in UK, or was it Germany? I do believe that this got problems all around world, which is kind of weird because it's not that like a violent orgy of, like Satan worshippers. But I think it got very much cut down in the UK and in the Germany. And I remember when this first came out on DVD in Finland, so we got the German version of it, and it was like 5 minutes of cuts, like something crazy like that. And also in the UK version, they really did a number on the cutting of this film. Was it so that even the James Caan's last words in the car were cut? But it was during the same time when, for example, The Rock came out on in the UK home video. So that was very the dark ages of the home releases, at least in the UK. For at least in Finland, this never got cut in any way by the Finnish Board of Film Censors. No way. What about Junior? That was a shit. Arnold at its worst. Yes, it's gotta be even worse. You are right about that too. But they are like, if we're talking about just the action films, I think, yes, Junior may be even worse than End of Days and Eraser, but I haven't seen that. I have never even seen Junior. But I hear it sucks. I have, yes, I did. I have seen this in cinemas. No, I remember it now. I wish the hell I didn't. It sucked ass. Okay, so James Caan also has done, like, he has like 130 titles in his IMDb profile. So he has also made very fantastic films, and this has got to be one of the better ones. I'm talking about Will Ferrell film Elf. So Will Ferrell is a kid who got mixed up with the elves and raised by elves, and then he leaves the North Pole and finds his real dad, who is James Caan. I have actually watched this because I was hoping to see like the worst comedy of all time, but I don't think it's the worst comedy of all time. It is just a mediocre, stupid Will Ferrell comedy. And I don't know why this has got so like a bad reputation. Yeah, I know it sucks, but it's not particularly bad. You know, if you know what I mean. Maybe it is because of Will Ferrell's out of the world performance, or the clothing of this film, or just the stupid idea of the film. Maybe it is the sum of all that, but I think there's a hell of a lot more worse films than Elf. But when I saw it, it's not that interesting film. And yeah, James Caan like probably was there for the paycheck. Really can't remember too much about it, but that I do remember, that it wasn't wasn't the greatest hour of James Caan. Did Arnold shit the baby? Yeah, where does the baby come from in Elf? I don't know, man. But hey, let's continue with the honorable mention. Okay, hey, here is my, very nostalgic film for me. It's called Alien Nation. Oi, like we said here in Finland. Alien Nation. In this film, James Caan plays Richard Sykes, a cop whose partner gets shot. Matthew Sykes. He's a cop whose partner gets killed, and he gets a surprise, a new partner. But here's the thing. It's like a buddy cop film, but in this film, aliens have come on Earth and they have integrated as a part of human society. And this guy, Matthew Sykes, he's a racist towards the aliens. And what do you know? His new partner, he's an alien from the other side of the galaxy and whatnot. And now these two have to, figure out how to find the killer, how to find this manufacturer of the new drug, and how to be friends. So basically it's your usual cop film, only peppered with science fiction elements and with that science fiction alien cop twist. So it's kind of neat. It's an okay action film, and I have seen this like a million times. Didn't have to watch this again for this broadcast because I remember it. It's a classic film, but a classic for me. It's a very nostalgic film for me, but I think if you have never seen it and you get excited when I talk about it, when you watch it, you probably won't be enjoying it like you don't probably say that it would be like a classic or the better films of James Caan, and I don't claim that. But I do claim that I have very high nostalgia for this film, and it's got a neat idea. Usually Will Ferrell films have a few hilarious scenes, even though the films of whole were not that great. Santa sleigh starting scene is fun. Never seen that either. But hey, have you seen Alien Nation, and what do you think about it? And this was one of the James Caan's comeback films. You know, when I told you that from year 1982 to 87, he was like a very down in his life. He got depressed and did some cocaine. Not some, but a lot of cocaine. And yeah, but I'm very happy that he got back in the game and made these classic films. Hello Willie says, Boopre 2.1. Hey Boopre, thank you very, very, very much for your super chat, my man. What's going on, Boopre? Revenge on Society. That's the name of the game, ain't it? Thank you for the super chat, $2.02. Hey, euro is almost like dollar, because usually when you said euros, they have been like, it would be like 248, but now the inflation and global economic crisis has gone so long, so far, so that the euro and dollar are almost as same. Just ordered Alien Nation German Blu-ray a while ago. Hey Tupes, maybe you want to tell when you watch it and tell me what you think about it. Hey, moving on with the recommendations. We got a film. And this is something that I watched. Did not ever seen it, never even heard about it, and this is the first film directed by James Caan and the only film directed by James Caan, and this is something called Hide in the Plain Sight. In this film, James Caan plays Thomas Hacklin, a guy that kind of like this blue collar guy, and that he has divorced from his wife, and then the wife dates this wise guy, mafia, greaseball, asshole guy. And then, you know, this greaseball asshole goes on a heist and gets in the heat and decides to testify against the mafia family. So the FBI hides because he got married to achieve some family privileges. He got married to the mother of James Caan's children, and then as a result, FBI, you know, puts this whole family to witness protection program, and then James Caan doesn't have any stake in it, so he in this film tries to find information where his family is. And he has to avoid mafia wise guys and also to fight the local police and the FBI and to get the information that he requires. So kinda interesting idea. And hey, I gotta tell you, the James Caan's performance is very high-spirited. He's very tense in this film. And maybe this was like close to his heart. After all, he had 5 children. I don't know how many he had at that time when this film was made, but it shows that maybe this topic was very personal to him. I don't know. And this is based on a true story, and yeah, it was great. It was great. Not necessarily a classic, but I would give this 3.5 star, and that is only because it would be not as good if it would have some other guy starring than James Caan. His performance really elevates this to the very good territory, or better than average territory, so to speak. Yeah, hide in plain sight, and also this proves that James Caan can really direct a film. There's some neat camera shots, and yeah, the actors there all fine. So I don't know why James Caan didn't direct any more films. I don't know. Maybe he tried it and said, okay, it's very much work. It's a huge task, and so maybe in the future I will concentrate on the role. I don't know. I really don't know. Happy birthday, David Hasselhoff and Nilo22. Okay. Dick Tracy is goofy, dull-looking mafia guys, includes James Caan. Yes, I know that. It's not on my list. I have seen Dick Tracy once when it was in cinemas and I was like a fucking young kid. I remember it was okay, but for some reason I have never seen it again. I know that James Caan is in that, but I do believe it's not a big role, or is it? I don't know. But maybe if I see it again, maybe I will tell you about it, but have only seen it once. I don't know. Yeah. So probably none of you have seen Hide in Plain Sight. RoboCop turns 35 years today. Really? So is that from USA premiere? Damn. Oh man, how the time flies. Okay, I have 2 honorable mentions yet. And this is something I watched. Had never seen it, but I watched it on this Warner Home Video VHS. It's called Jästipää Jeparit, and the real name is Freebie and the Bean, and this is from year 1973. And this was made 1 year after Godfather, and it's an action comedy. Jästipää Jeparit. You could translate it like Bonehead Cops, this Finnish title. And that would actually describe this film very well. An action comedy where James Caan and Alan Arkin, they're playing these cop buddies, and they're after this Redmond, some criminal boss in the city. And pretty much they're having fights and car chases to get there, to their, to get their bad guy. So pretty basic stuff. But when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, they really couldn't do this nowadays, because these cops, this is a comedy about police brutality, They're threatening witnesses, they're beating up witnesses, they're threatening to rape witnesses' girlfriends, and then they are very misogynist. In this world, a woman belongs to a man, and this Alan Arkin has problem with his wife, and then he's very obsessive, kind of jealous, but that is portrayed as like a very like a cute thing to have. And in this world they are also prejudiced against homosexuals, and of course they are racist. Constant racial banter, because this Beaner, he's a Mexican. So basically the Freebie and the Beaner, the name already is a racist. The name of the film is very racist. And I was like watching that in awe of like, wow, they really could get away with this in the 70s. This is a film that only could be made in the 70s. I would it would be hard to imagine that in Disney Plus they would show a film like this. But it's entertaining. You know, I think James Caan and Alan Arkin, they have good chemistry between, and also the action scenes are pretty good. There are a couple of 3 pretty impressive car chases in San Francisco. You know, in one scene the car flies from away from the bridge and hits the house, and then enters the old people's living room, and then James Caan and Alan Arkin, they come out of the car and, you know, like, okay, may I use the phone, sir? Yes, you may. So the film is filled with that, with great looking stunt scenes and stuff like that. And also it's very violent film. It's incredibly violent film, and it's done like everything is played for laughs. Because what these cops are doing, it's absolutely criminal. They're shooting like multiple times transvestites. It's a weird film. Haven't seen that. Sounds a movie made for me. Well, well, if you find it somewhere, let me know. Tell me what you think about it, because that it was like very un-PC, but by today's standards. What is the original name of Jästipää Jeparet? It's Freebie and the Bean. Now, half of the watchers in this broadcast, they're now Googling it and trying to find where to see it. Yeah, 3.5 stars. I could give this film 3.5 stars. It was entertaining. And not necessarily it was a good movie, but it was entertaining in that sense that I was constantly thinking about that. Man, that's some heavy shit. Not very PC. I mean, one scene, they are questioning this suspect, which is played by Paul Kozlo, and they're kicking him and also kicking him in the face. And it is played like a humorous scene, very humoristic scene, and then James Caan goes, hey, I need to talk you to your old lady. Oh my god, don't do it. Oh my god, he's gonna rape her. And then Paul Kozlo, no, don't do that. And this is everything it's played like laughs. Terrible. But somewhat, entertaining. Okay, one more honorable mention for you, and of course I had to mention this. This is not per se a James Caan film, but of course I do have to mention The Godfather, the 1972 film. Arguably one of the best films ever made, and one of the influential films ever made, one of the greatest crime films ever made, one of the greatest films ever made, one of the best cast ever assembled on the screen. Maybe I don't have to explain what is a Godfather to you, but this is not necessarily a James Caan film, but James Caan has a very huge role in it as Sonny Corleone, and it was like his 5th or 6th theatrical release, and this was the role that he was really found. After that he got roles from Rollerball, Killer Elite, whatnot. But in this film he got it's not his first, of course, but he got his name, he got like his cojones from this film, and it's an absolutely stunning performance. Kind of like a stable performance from James Caan. Like a kind of a role that he got known for later on. Kind of this hothead guy. And kind of a role which he did several times over. But now, this is a very good bridge to the next subject, which is the last This is my number one film from my list, and yes, many of you guessed it. Of course, it's gotta be Michael Mann's The Thief, and I have the Criterion collection in here in my hands, not the Arrow video collection, which I falsely claimed earlier, but Thief by James Caan. Yes, absolutely, not by James Caan, but Michael Mann. And this was the first Michael Mann's theatrical film. He did one film before it. It's called Jericho Mile. I have it on VHS in my shelf, but I have never actually watched it. But it was a television movie, but this was his first theatrical film. And holy shit, what a first film it is. What a first film it is indeed. In this film, James Caan plays a guy called... What? A guy called Frank. And Frank is a safe stealing expert. He's a safe cracker. You know, like a guy who goes on a gig, on a crime gig and enters the building and cracks open a safe. Now Frank he's a very sure of himself, very self-sufficient man. He does these great scores, and also he is running this used sales car company and a bar as a front for his criminal activities. And then he wants to have family with Tuesday Weld. Oh my god, what a babe in this film. Tuesday Weld. You might remember her from Once Upon a Time in America also and a bunch of other films, but Once Upon a Time in America comes first thing from Tuesday Weld mind when I think about her after Thief. And yeah, then he gets involved with this crime lord played by Robert Brodsky. You might remember him from Gremlins 2 as the friendly Dracula guy. But in this one, he's really a chilling mobster. And with his friend played by James Belushi, they do this very huge heist and go to this large company in LA. This is set in Chicago. They go to LA, go to this large company and steal some uncut diamonds, whatnot. And then comes the argument between James Caan and Robert Brodsky, and then the war begins, so to speak. So it's an action crime thriller and very stylish in its own genre. I mean, the film opens with 10-minute heist scene, only Tangerine Dream music playing on, and my god, it's so atmospheric and very boldly made. You know, it was the first Michael Mann's theatrical film, so these are very bold moves for your first film. And then, if you have seen it, you probably remember also the second heist scene, which also is, was it completely silent, or was there Tangerine Dreams music? Well, I don't remember that out of my mind. But any case, very beautiful soundtrack. And somebody said in my Finnish chat that in the James Caan funerals, it would be so beautiful that if they would play the beach scenes from this score. It's a beautiful track, and this got very beautiful original soundtrack music. It's available on YouTube. Go listen to Thief's soundtrack and go see the film. It's amazing, because when the final war begins, James Caan, Frank is so beyond any negotiation, beyond any negotiation, so toxic. You could say that this is toxic masculinity. And if you say that this is toxic masculinity at its best. And also have to say that, yeah, the jästipää jeparit Freebie and the Bean, and this is also very highly, very poisonously toxic masculinity film. But he has this prison logic that he will obey, and this makes him a very unpredictable opponent. Yeah, Thief is very, very huge classic, and I would rate this, if not 5 stars, 4.5 stars. I think I have to go for 5 stars because it's such a unique film. What do you guys think about The Thief? Tupes at least says, damn, I need to watch Thief ASAP. Well, you have it in your shelf. Now, when I quit this broadcast, you will go to your shelf. You will take that Thief and you will put it in your Blu-ray record player. And you will watch it. And you will enjoy it. Do we have a deal? Santeri Paju says, I think Sonny is still Caan's best performance. It is an outstanding performance. But if I had to choose one of his performance, I would probably choose The Gambler. Like I said, it is kind of his most versatile performance. If you have not seen Santeri Paju, if you have not seen Gambler, check it out, if you can find it. It was released on VHS in Finland, but you don't probably watch VHS, but I watch it from YouTube. I don't have the VHS. If I would have the VHS, I would have shown it to you. But I watch it from YouTube as a YouTube rental. I don't think it's, illegally loaded to YouTube, but I watch it as a rental. That's a good way to watch films. Alright, hey. Thief, wonderful picture. Check it out. And violent too. Haven't seen Gambler, but I gotta see it. My friend has been recommended that for me for years. Hey, you got a smart friend. Tupe says, I guess I could watch Thief in coming week. Yeah, give it a watch. At least it's my recommendation. And what would be the better time to watch it than now when we have this unfortunate departure of this great actor. So, hey, put those films on, because I think this guy here deserves to, this guy really deserves to be recognized. Even after his passing. That is my humble opinion. Yeah. So, hey, that's it for me, man. From Jimmy Caan. And a little bit about David Hasselhoff. Hey, like, subscribe and all that jazz. I will return to screen. Hopefully next week I have Vinegar Syndrome package. And I will do some unboxing and so to go back to more traditional Videotalk programming.
Hell yeah, alright.
So, until that time, have a good night, good day, and great next week.
Video.
And Bupre, thank you again for your super chat. Bupre.
Video talk. Talking video talk. We're 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 talking video talk.
Thanks for the live. Great show and legendary gentlemen who deserve recognition. Yeah, indeed. That is the least I can do.
We're talking video talk. We're talking video talk. We're talking video talk. We're talking video talk.
Bitch, we're talking with our boy Willie. You know he's got the shit. He's dancing real hard, I know you'll never get sick of it. He's got that tee on, got that long sexy hair. You know he's about to take his shirt off, his abs so bare. He's got a six-pack, they call him Suburban Commando. He's a big motherfucker and he's dropping it low. He's about to slap that ass, baby, about to slap it so hard. You ever seen this motherfucker running naked through your backyard?
We're talking video talk. We're talking
Video talk, bitch, we're talking video talk. Get your video talk. You best subscribe. You best subscribe or die. You best subscribe or dive to video talk.
Good night. Don't let the bed